Welcome to Cloning versus Forking. Until now, you have delved into the concepts of cloning and forking, but have you ever paused to think about their differences? In this video, you will learn the difference between cloning and forking repositories and when to use them. You will also describe the cloning and forking workflow. GitHub allows multiple developers to collaborate on their codebase in parallel. A project in github.com resides either as a public or private repository. Each developer working on that project may have their own copy of the repository on their computer, which they refer to as their local repo, and one that is on github.com, which they refer to as the remote repo. Let's say you have an existing project named Grand Messaging, and you are looking to create a new or derivative project, Grand Messaging Plus, which offers additional features and improvements over the original. There is no need for you to start creating your codebase again. You can simply fork the existing Grand Messaging project, create Grand Messaging Plus, and develop on top of the existing codebase, offering new and improved features. To fork a public project, you can go to its GitHub project page and select Fork at the top of the page. This fork option is available only while using the web interface. There is no native Git command to create a fork. The repo from which you create the fork is referred to as the original upstream repository. Once you fork the original upstream, the forked copy of the repo becomes the origin, and developers with access to the origin can create clones of it on their local machines. After cloning, you can create branches and easily make changes to the codebase, like adding features, enhancements, or fixing bugs. Finally, you can add, commit, and push your changes to the branch and request to merge the branch with the main branch in the origin. However, it is important to note that the synchronization of changes using push and merge can only be done with repos that the developers have write access to. But what if you want to contribute your changes back to the original upstream that you do not have write access to from where it was forked? In that case, you can submit a pull request for your proposed changes by selecting New Pull Request from the Pull Requests tab. The maintainers of the upstream project can review the changes in the pull request, provide feedback, and merge accordingly unless there are any conflicts to be resolved. Now let's look at how you can create branches and synchronize changes. To create a branch, you can use the git branch command, and then make the branch active using the git checkout command. Once changes are made, save and stage them using git add and git commit. After the intended changes are completed, you should set up an upstream branch for the newly created branch and push the changes to the new branch. Then, you raise a request to the maintainer to merge the changes in the new branch to the main branch after reviewing it. Let us revisit the forking workflow. First, you create a fork of an upstream project, which then becomes the origin. The developer can create clones on the local machines, make changes, and then use git push to push the updated main branch back to the origin by creating pull requests. The upstream project maintainers review the changes and then merge if there are no conflicts. One thing to note about the git merge command is that it lets you take independent lines of development in git branches and integrate them into a single branch. Now, let's say a new developer joins your project to upgrade the Grand Messaging to Grand Messaging Plus. How are you going to share the remote repo with the new developer to collaborate on the project? This is where cloning comes to your rescue. You can clone any public repo in GitHub or a private repo that you have access to by going to that repo and selecting the Code button. You can then get the entire codebase of the remote repo in various ways. GitHub also gives you the ability to copy the HTTPS URL and then execute the git clone URL command from your local machine. After cloning, you can follow the same process of updating your codebase and merging with the main branch. Let us quickly look at the entire clone workflow. Cloning comes into the picture once you have forked your repo and it has now become the origin. You then use the origin to create an identical copy of the remote repo using the git clone command that the developer can use on their computer. Then, the new developer creates a new branch, makes changes, and saves them using add and commit operations. After that, they push the new branch to the origin to get their changes reviewed. A reviewer or maintainer uses the git fetch or git pull command to get the latest copy of the repo and the git diff command to help identify and compare the changes in the branch. Once reviewed, they can use git checkout and merge the branch to the main. Lastly, anyone with maintainer access can create a pull request to the original upstream to initiate the changes in the original repo. Let's recap. In this video, you learn that if you want to create a derivative project from another project as the starting point, you can choose to fork a project. The repo that you fork from is referred to as the upstream repo. To contribute your changes back to the upstream project, for which you do not have write access, you can submit a pull request, commonly referred to as PR. The maintainers of the upstream project can review the changes in the pull request, provide feedback, and merge accordingly unless there are any conflicts to be resolved. You can create an identical copy of the remote repo using the git clone operation. The remote repo from which the project is cloned is also referred to as the origin. To create branches and synchronize changes, the git commands used are git branch to create a branch, git checkout to activate the branch, git add and git commit to save changes, git push to push the branch to the remote repo, and git merge to merge the changes to the main branch.